first generation that has the potential to end absolute poverty.
I put it in my pocket because the last time I showed this, it was the last time I saw it.
What is your role? What exactly are you going to do? When you leave this building here, what action points are you going to go out with?
And therefore, I will call on the Chief of Protocol to give further instructions on the issue focuses, and the General Assembly is now declared suspended.
Delegate of France. Delegate of France that are attending, may you sit down or else run us to escort you outside.
We can't achieve gender equality while the security and peace in our country is not stable.
So my proposition to you, make sure you leave here with enough knowledge to go back home with. And not just to Paul, but to everyone. Make sure you get the most out of this conference. In terms of fun, in terms of learning, in terms of enjoying. Be ready to present, be ready to speak, because these are the things you came here for.
Don't you ever underestimate yourself. It doesn't matter if you have ever been in one or never been in one. Being here, you're already here. Thank you so much.
One people, one destiny.
Make sure you leave here in a different way. Don't leave here the way you came in.
Kwa tuna wawakilishi wa nchi 8 ambao wamekutana kwa pamoja hapa kufanya bunge kivuli. Bunge kivuli manake ni tunajaribu kufanya kama mkutano mkuu wa Umoja wa Mataifa unapofanyika kule New York, Marekani. Kwa hiyo sasa na sisi tunafanya assimilation kama vijana hapa Tanzania, na kama theme ya mwaka huu, kauli mbiu ya mwaka huu ni nafasi ya kijana katika kuimplement ama kuhakikisha yale malengo endelevu ya dunia yanaweza kukamilika. Na kwa haraka malengo ambayo yamechaguliwa na vijana hawa ambao yatajadiliwa kwenye mkutano huu ni pamoja na masuala ya mabadiliko tabia nchi, climate action, kuna masuala ya quality education, masuala ya elimu, kuna masuala pia ya umaskini, kuna masuala pia ya ujinsia.
Kwa hiyo tunayo maeneo ambayo tuliyachagua ambayo yanaendana na kauli mbiu yetu, ambayo ndio tunataka kuyazungumza na tuone sisi kama vijana mwisho wa siku tutoka na maazimio gani ambayo yatatusaidia sisi kwenye kuhakikisha maendeleo endelevu ya dunia yanaenda sambamba na ushirikishwaji wa vijana, tukiamini kwamba vijana ndio watu ambao wako wengi duniani, na vijana kama wanaamua na kufanya jambo, basi tunaamini impact yake inaonekana zaidi.
Good morning. To start with, when the arrangement of the delegation will be done, so you'll have to sit according to your delegation.
Can I ask how many of you are on social media? Show of hands. Okay, I thought there'd be more hands. So we want to have a very visible social media campaign with this event. So we want to encourage all of you to tweet and post as much as possible, pictures on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Just try and do that as much as you can, just to raise as much awareness as possible. Are all of you familiar with the hashtag? So the hashtag is TIMUN 2016. We're gonna have like 30-second videos of people, which I'll be taking. And it's just gonna be a 30-second video whereby you sort of explain, you say a little bit about yourself and sort of just speak about the SDG campaign.
Have you seen or read the Declaration of Human Rights? Are you all aware of it? That is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. If you see that there is a violation of human rights, the violation of your rights, of speaking perhaps, of addressing the GA, making yourself comfortable, you can refer to that Declaration of Human Rights and the UN Charter. I have some UN Charter. This is very small, but it's generally, it's a constitution of UN. That's all the rules that governing it, why is it there, organs, Security Council, how it operates. It's in here. I put it in my pocket because the last time I showed this, it was the last time I saw it. So I'm not gonna bring it in.
Needless to say, the TIMUN team has been working so very hard to make sure that today we are here and everything is going on well. And as we all know that Tanzania is a beautiful country and it has very humble people. I'm sure some of the international delegates that were here could be a very good proof to that. So, lastly, I welcome you all and I hope we shall have a very fruitful conference. Do your best and make sure that we come with the best resolution ever.
On behalf of UNA Tanzania, I extend a thankful hand to United Nations Resident Coordinator's Office in Tanzania for supporting the Tanzania Model United Nations General Assembly 2016. A special thanks to the organizing committee for staying together as a family in every step of the way and working together to see the vision of TIMUN become reality. Hongereni sana. The preparation of the event owes much to the hard work, dedication, and advice together with their contribution towards the success of this event. Special mention goes to United Nations Information Center for their eminent contribution. Their consultant services provided invaluable inputs that led to the success of the TIMUN 2016. I extend further appreciation to the embassies, Sweden Embassy in Tanzania, for supporting and giving out training for some of the delegates that will be here representing their country. I also extend further appreciation to the NGOs, youth groups that are willing to participate in TIMUN 2016. Honorable delegates, it is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to TIMUN 2016.
It is satisfying to see that as young people you have chosen this particular topic in your role in implementing sustainable development goals.
This is key in the localization of the goals. These goals need to be localized in the villages, in the rural populations where we live. People need to know these goals, and you need to be the vehicles that will deliver that message to various people. You have chosen to see yourselves, it is a good thing that you have chosen to see yourselves as partners instead of receivers. Usually many young people want to see themselves as on the receiving end. They wait for things to happen. I'm happy that you have decided to be doers and implementers instead of waiting for things to be done to you by government and your elders. This is a spirit you need to encourage among your peers. You need to be engaged in the development process, right from the conceptualization phase until the last date when the Sustainable Development Goals will be proudly accomplished. You need to be part and parcel. I'm very happy to say that through the deliberations and discussions that took place in the modern UN General Assembly of 2013, you came up with very powerful resolutions. And your resolutions were included in the National Paper for Tanzania. And that means a lot. Because as you know, when people are negotiating for these changes, they do not negotiate on an individual country basis. Africa negotiated for the goals as a regional bloc. So our views were incorporated, and what we have now in the Sustainable Development Goals are actually the results of what we have proposed in the past. So now it should be very easy to implement these goals.
This is your home, enjoy it, and take advantage of having such a home, as I said. Do whatever you can do so that your home becomes a real home, not a threatening one, not a home that gives you despair, but a good home that you fetch the good water you need.
The purpose of not leaving anyone behind. Almost 85% of the global population are youth. This is a significant portion and force that is capable to bring an effective implementation of the SDGs. Youth have the role to lead this progress. The nations abiding and evaluating the progress and of the action plans to implement and localize the SDGs.
It's my assumption that everyone is aware of the Sustainable Development Goals and its thematic areas whereby everyone has a role to play in implementation of these goals. This year's theme, which is youth role in implementations of the Sustainable Development Goals, it's give you the platform as youth from all over the world discussing on vigorous exchange and creative dialogues so as to bring new voices from young people into these critical discussions.
Well, I would like to start by climate change. The assessment indicates that China already suffers from environmental impact of climate change, such as increasing surface and ocean temperature, rise of sea levels, lead to the occurrence of climate-related disasters such as drought and flood, with the effect of productivity as they create serious repercussions of the natural environment and infrastructures. It also worsens the uneven distribution of water resources in China, and lastly, climate change could endanger human health by increasing outbreak of diseases and the transmission.
Yes, to the youth people, Denmark has dealt with the issue of quality education and eradication of poverty. The Kingdom of Denmark have addressed different policies by giving priority to human rights. For that will make easy achievement in education that will improve the level in development and leave behind poverty. Setting of quality education that decentralized municipal environment by giving vocational training in helping youth for self-dependence. With our historical commitment to the environment, Denmark has strived in reducing greenhouse effects. In June 2014, the Danish Climate Change Act was adopted in the parliament with support from the government parties, establishment of our strategic framework for national climate policy.
France adopted and starting to implement sustainable development goals through looking into ending poverty and hunger by tackling poverty in all dimensions, achieving food security and addressing malnutrition, completing the unfinished business of the MDGs, tackling inequality, empowering women and girls, and leaving no one behind, tackling inequalities within and between countries and supporting countries in special situations, achieving gender equality, ensuring access to all of education, health, affordable drinking energy, water, and sanitation, foster sustainable development, economic growth, transformation, and promotion sustainable consumption and production, protecting our planet and combating climate change.
As a delegation from Japan, we'd like to talk on peace and security, whereby although Japan has officially renounced its right to declare war, it maintains a modern military with the world's 8th largest military budget used for self-defense and peacekeeping roles. Japan, as we've heard today, that the problem of terrorism on what ISIS did to our Syrian brothers, well, we'd like to urge all the G7 and the G8 members to contribute in terms of monetary and physical forces and resources to curb this growing problem. Thank you.
Okay, climate changes has been able to affect Russia in different ways, and the negative effects are such as increase in health risks, intensity and duration of droughts in some regions. Also, in the gender issues, in Russia, women have been an integral part of the paid labor price and essential to the following function of the accuracy.
Speaking of quality education, scholarships are supplied by our prominent universities, Cambridge, Oxford, and Coventry, for educational exchange. In Africa, we have allocated almost 21% of the strategies that we have to improve the education in most of the countries in Africa. Also, 27% of the NGOs in the African countries are from the United Kingdom. So this shows how we are head-to-head on colliding with the problem of quality education. We want to ensure that by giving the quality education to people in Africa, we will improve their living standards and also make them come into our place.
Our target is about climate change, especially cutting down of trees. We came up with a resolution that we should prevent cutting down of trees. The more estates try to say that we should cut out the trees, then we should plant the 2 trees when we're cutting 1 tree. That's what we came up.
However, in Syria, now we are in critical condition. It is very hard for us to implement SDGs. And since Syria, it is destroyed by civil war, there is not such much, there is no big opportunity for the children to go to school. As long as hospitals were destroyed,
the most priority of the country is to ensure that the woman has obtained the right. On the Constitution of United Arab Emirates, given the woman to enjoy the right to hold the position, the right for claims, legal status, access for education, and for claims for title.
Basing on the issue of climate, Turkey is highly vulnerable to climatic change as it is already facing increased temperature and decreased precipitation trends. This is having a major negative impact on water viability for food production and rural development, further exacerbating the social and regional disparities in the country characterized by widening gap of southern and eastern